Today's how to build is on Mangle, Phantom Mangle, and Nightmare Mangle from Five Nights at Freddy's. I heard you loud and clear. Mangle, mangle, mangle. I received over 1,700 comments requesting me to build Mangle. So this is far and away the most requested build I've ever done. Considering I just passed 200,000 subscribers, I thought it would be great for me to thank all of you for your dedication to Brick 101 by giving you the thing you want the most. As usual, I will be showing how to build Mangle at a variety of sizes, and I'll be showing different variants of Mangle. Mangle, Phantom Mangle, and Nightmare Mangle. If you want to skip ahead to a specific version of Mangle, there are links in the video description where you can jump ahead using the table of contents. For those of you who live near Chicago, Illinois, I want to remind you that Brickworld Chicago, one of the biggest LEGO fan conventions in the world, is coming up next month, June 18th and 19th. I will be there with a lot of my creations, so if you want to come meet me in person, say hello, definitely stop by Brickworld Chicago. It's a lot of fun, and there's so much great LEGO stuff to do there, beyond just, meeting me. One last thought before we jump into building. I just want to thank all of you for your continued patience, as I have been very busy recently. I've been traveling a lot for my day job. I've been working very hard to finish up the LEGO animation book so that can publish this fall. And so that has left me less time than usual to do work on Brick 101 videos. So thank you for your patience since I haven't had a video every week. Let's start off building the minifigure scale of Mangle. Here's a look at the pieces I used to build minifig scale Mangle. You don't need to use these exact pieces, but this should be a good guideline for pieces you should find in your collection. So one of the key pieces I use here is this gray skeleton body. This is from one of the LEGO movie sets. They have those kind of robot skeletons. I'm also using the legs and head from that skeleton. I'll have links in the descriptions where you can find some of these pieces online from Bricklink. So starting with that gray skeleton body, I'm going to take a white skeleton leg for Mangle's leg that has a white foot on it, and then do a gray skeleton leg for the other leg. Next we're going to work on this arm over here. I'm going to take one of these robot arm hands, sort of a pinchbot arm, using this one that's a silvery gray. I'm also using dark gray. Silvery gray I like a little bit better, but I only had one of those that I could find. Then we're going to have an arm going forward that's white. And you could do that as one of those regular robot arms, or if you have one of these skeleton arms, those are nice too, because then you can have the hand kind of clipped out like that. Then going back, I'm going to take one of these gray robot arms, just kind of going back. On the other side, I'm going to take another robot arm, clip it going backwards. I'm going to take one of these 1x1 plates with clip. Take a 1x1 round plate. Now we're going to build the head. So for Mangle's head, I'm using a black skeleton head. Could just be any black head that you want, but I'm putting it off to the side like that. So I'm using one of these white polar bear heads from Chima for Mangle's head. I know it's not exactly a fox head, but it was the closest I could find that was about the right shape and color without doing any custom painting work. I'm going to put it on like this, so we kind of have like Mangle having one eye on this side and just black on the other side. Now you'll see it gets hard for Mangle to stand up. Got a lot going on already. So let's build something in the back to help support Mangle. So we're going to take a neck bracket, put that down like so. Building off of the neck bracket, take a 1x2 plate with clip going up. Put that going down. Take one of these nozzle pieces. And now we're going to connect a few things off of this. So in the back, we're going to put Mangle's third leg. And I'm going to make this leg a little bit taller so it actually reaches the ground here. So just put a 1x1 round plate underneath. Then clip this kind of that part of the nozzle. It should be able to turn pretty well. And that gives Mangle something to kind of lean back on. Still going to be a little top heavy right now. Then on the front, I'm Going to do another arm in white. I like to have this one kind of go up like this. It's just how I like the arm, but you could clip it on however you want. The nice thing about Mangle is there's no real clear screenshots of Mangle because she's always climbing through a ventilation system or lying in a heap. So you can kind of connect her different limbs however you decide to. Up here, going to use a red epaulette to kind of represent the little bit of a bow tie that Mangle's got going on. And then take a 1x2 plate up here and finish it off with a gray robot head for kind of the random endoskeleton head that is just hanging around on Mangle. Mangle stands up pretty well like this, a little wobbly just because there's a lot of stuff going on, but you can move the head around, move the arms, the weird thing in the back. Sometimes it's helpful to put this arm leaning down just as another way to get Mangle to hold herself up. Here's a look at the pieces I used for the minifig scale Phantom Mangle. Starting with a black skeleton torso and some black skeleton legs. The side we'll do a robot arm, a bigger robot arm, kind of coming forward, and another one going back. So there's that random kind of offshoot piece. On this side, we'll do a small robot grabby arm going that way. Then we'll take a 1x1 plate with clip, do a 1x1 round on top of that. For the head, I'm just using a white skeleton head. Doesn't matter which type it is, so I just have that turned backwards. I'm using this Batlord helmet from the old Fright Night series because I thought that was a pretty good representation of Mangle's kind of big ears, Phantom Mangle's big black ears, with kind of white creepy eyes. On the back, we're going to do the same thing we did with Mangle. Start with a neck bracket, then a 1x2 plate with clip. Take a black nozzle piece, do a leg with a 1x1 plate, back here, and clipped off of that, take a arm like so. Up here, we're going to do a epaulette. Not super noticeable, but it is good for just having there to hold the neck piece down a little bit. 1x2 plate, and I'm using this black skeleton head to top it off for kind of the endoskeleton creepy head. Mangle, mangle, mangle. Mangle, mangle, mangle. Mangle, mangle, mangle. The differences between Nightmare Mangle and regular Mangle aren't that great. Most of it is just kind of it being a little more dilapidated, and at this scale you can't even really make a lot of that difference in terms of making, you know, the head more frayed, unless you're going to custom paint that. One big difference is that Mangle's eye is on a different side, the one eye that Mangle has, so you could flip around the head so that the eye is kind of there for Nightmare Mangle. And then the other difference is that, you know, one of the arms is gray instead of white. So swap out that, and you do the same thing with the foot. I ran out of gray skeleton feet though, so I'm just going to use a gray robot arm for a third foot. And this could go on the back instead, but I'm just going to put it up front. And voila! Now you have Nightmare Mangle. Now let's take a look at the Double Fig scale. Here are the pieces I'm using for the body of Double Fig Mangle. You don't need exactly these pieces, but it's a good place to start. As always, the most important piece is a Travis brick. This brick is one of the most versatile pieces in the whole Lego palette. I use them all the time because they let you connect lots of things together in a very small space. Travis brick, my favorite piece. Alright, so starting with our Travis brick, Gonna rotate it so it's facing like this with the top facing forward. Gonna put a grill plate on front of that, kind of being Mangle's ribs, endoskeleton pieces. Facing off from one side of that, we're gonna go with a 1x1 plate with clip going that way. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So 2 1x1 plates with clip on top of that. Now we're going to use a lot of these T-connector pieces. I'm using them in light gray here. Easiest color to find them in. One just lightly connected into the bottom of the piece there. Then we're going to have one connected going up over here. One connected going down over here. And then one connected into the top, like so. So we've got lots of connection points for all of Mangle's various limbs. For the feet, gonna do a gray skeleton leg and a white skeleton leg. For the third foot in the back, going to connect one of these straight robot arms in light gray to the back of that. In the very back, we'll take one of these nozzle pieces. If you've got one of these 1x1 plates with a hole in it, can give it a little bit of a foot there. Clip it on into the robot arm. Now you've got a third leg, which you can position a little bit. Give Mangle some stability, since she's got limbs going everywhere. Right here, we're going to connect a white arm going up. Hey! On the other side, we'll connect a white arm going down. Hi. And we'll put a dark gray limb going back. So we're going to actually move this T connector up a little bit so we have enough room to connect this random sort of dangly endoskeleton bit going backwards. Hey. Going to connect a 1x1 plate with clip with a 1x2 plate with handle so that we can build a part of the neck. We're going to put that on the back of this. And now let's build the head assemblies. Let's first build the endoskeleton head. So we're going to take a 2x2 round tile, place that upside down, put some teeth in there with some 1x1 round plates. In the back, we're going to fill it in with light gray, so a 1x1 plate, a 1x1 plate with clip going off to the side. Next level will be a 2x2 plate to hold everything together nicely, a round plate ideally. And then on top of that, we're going to take a 1x2 bracket piece like so and connect it in like that. Then we will add in the eye using one of our eye tiles that we love so much, and we'll put an empty eye socket there represented by 1x1 dark gray piece. Connecting all of that to a 1x2 plate with handle, and then in the very end we'll put this 1x1 red plate with clip because that will represent our bow tie that Mangle wears. Now you can take that whole assembly and connect it to the T connector. Maybe twist that around and push that in a little bit. And you've got some room to reposition the head. It can go up and down, and the neck connector can move around, so lots of different ways you can position that. Here are the pieces you need to build Mangle's head. I'm going to start with a Travis brick, and we're going to connect that to a 1x1 gray plate with clip, like that. We're going to build up side of the face with a corner plate. I'm going to put a red 1x1 round for the cheek. Going to put 1x1 white plate with clip. Going to build that onto one side of the head there. Going to do an opposite one on the other side. Red 1x1 round plate, plate with clip. That on top. We're going to build forward onto the nose. Take 2 white 1x1 plates, then a pink one, then a black round one. Actually, one of those 1x1 plates is actually going to be a 1x1 plate with clip, like so. And then for Mangle's lower mouth, I'm going to take a red 1x1 plate with clip, put a white 1x1 round in it. I'm going to use an illegal Lego connection. I'm going to connect clip inside of a clip, so the red can tilt a little bit inside the white clip. Not the best connection, but it works in a nice small space here, so I like it. Here we're going to connect a 1x1 plate with clip. Color doesn't matter a whole lot there, but I'm using white. I'm going to take some bicycle or other vehicle handlebar, in light gray to match kind of the endoskeleton interior. For the eyes, we're going to take a neck bracket, connect a 1x2 plate in pink, connect an eye tile, and a black 1x1 round for the empty eye. Connect that onto the side of the head. Getting pretty close to done here. For the back of the head, going to take a jumper plate 2x2, 1x1 square plate in white. Connect that on like so. And then on the top of the head, going to take some white hands, connect those onto the handlebar, and then take 1x1 cone brick. Do the same on the other side. And actually, I forgot to do this earlier, but do a pink 1x1 round and then the black 1x1 round. Make the snout nice and long there. Pink with black. Now we've got a nice head for Mangle. Now that you've got the head, you can attach it to the body. So we built the neck already, and that's going to connect to that gray clip that we put on the bottom. And now Mangle's heads should balance each other out in terms of weight. And if, like me, you accidentally put Mangle's eye on the wrong side, it's really easy to take off the 1x2 plate, flip the eye around, and put it back to the right side. And now you've got Mangle. Hi, I'm Mangle, hi. Here's the pieces for building the bottom of Phantom Mangle. Again, we're going to start with a Travis brick. Connect a T-connector into the bottom like so. Put some 1x1 plates with clips on the sides here. Grill plate on the front. T-connector on the top, but twisted a different way. T-connector over here, going down. T-connector here, I happen to have one in black, though most of them I have are in light gray. If you have lots of black ones, that'll blend in better for Phantom Mangle. But that one's going up. Then put some black skeleton legs on the bottom. Put a straight robot arm on the T-connector. Going back. Take a black nozzle for the back leg. Put it in a 1x1 round plate with hole. Now I should be able to actually have Mangle stand up. Take some black robot arms, the bendy kind. One going over there. One going back ways. And one hanging down that way. On the top, going to start building out a part of the neck. So take a 1x2 plate with handle and a 1x1 plate with clip. Connect that to the back part of that T-connector. Here's the pieces for the endoskeleton head and neck. 2x2 round tile. Some gray 1x1 rounds for the teeth bits, 1x1 black plate and 1x1 black plate with side clip, 2x2 round plate, one of these 1x2 brackets, put the eye on this side, 1x1 white plate, and then for the neck, 1x2 plate with handle, and for a little bit of a gray bow tie, sort of phantom bow tie. For Phantom Mangle's head, we'll again start with a Travis brick. Do a 1x1 plate with clip going down like that. For the side of the head, take a corner plate, dark gray 1x1 round for a just faded cheek, and plate with clip for the little bits of hair. Stick that on this side of the face. Do the opposite on the other side. Corner plate, cheek, a little bit of hair, and put that over there. For the nose, start with a black 1x1 plate with clip, then do a 1x1 black plate, 2 1x1 rounds in black, then a plate with clip like that, and a dark gray round for the scary teeth. That clips on the front. For the ears, I'm going to take a plate with clip and handlebars, connect that onto the top, connect some minifigure hands into here, then take some cylinder, then take some 1x1 cones and connect those onto the hands. Same on the other side. For the front, take a neck bracket, 1x2 plate, some white rounds for the eyes, connect that onto the side, and on the back, do a jumper plate, a 1x1 black plate, and now you've got Phantom Mangle's head. Can tilt those little hair pieces down if you don't like them. Now it's time to connect the heads to the body. So clip on the exoskeleton onto that side and clip in, oh, messed that up. Get that clip going the right way. Clip in the neck to the head. And now you should have Phantom Mangle. Again, you can adjust the necks and the heads to wherever you like. Maybe you want the heads really close. Maybe you want them far apart and tilted down ways. Mangle's very flexible and, the limbs can go kind of every which way as you like. To turn Mangle into Nightmare Mangle, again, first things first, you're going to want to flip which side the eyes are on. So on endoskeleton head, disconnect it, flip the eyes around, reconnect it. On Mangle, take off the side of the head here, flip around this piece, twist the eye if you can, or just disconnect it and twist it. Reconnect the side of the face. For the legs, pull off the white leg and put on a gray leg if you've got another gray leg. You could use a gray robot hand there. Connect that. It should only have one white arm, so get rid of one of your white ones and replace it with a gray one. The other change you could make to make this look a little bit more like Nightmare Mangle is to have some of the wires that are coming off of Nightmare Mangle's head around the ears. So replace the white hands that are holding on the ears with light gray hands. And rather than having them hide, have them stick up and be all pointy. Do another hand here. Maybe make one go forward and one go back. Can even add a third hand on if you think that helps with it looking like crazy wires going on. And now you've got a slightly more nightmarish mangle. Night mangle. Night mangle mare. Night mangle mangy mangy marg. Nighty night night mang mang. And here's a quick look at all of my double fig animatronics together. Last but certainly not least, let's look at the action figure scale. First things first, you're going to want to find as many of these small ball and socket joints as you have in your LEGO collection. There's a number of different sizes and shapes of them. This one has a ball and a socket on the same piece. Otherwise, they're often dark gray for the pieces with the balls and light gray for the pieces with the sockets. A few places you can find these ball and socket joints are in different LEGO Mixel sets. LEGO Mixels have a lot of these different ball and socket joints, and they're small, affordable sets usually, so that's a great way to stock up on these. The new LEGO Elves Dragon sets, as well as some of the Ninjago dragons, and then some of the brick-built characters like Groot. You can see I've taken out all of his ball and socket joints, so now his arms are all weird. I am Groot. Or things like the man-eating plant from the Scooby-Doo Mystery Mansion. So look through your collection, find all of your small ball and socket joints, and then you can use those to build Mangle. These are the pieces I used for Mangle's torso. If you don't have all of these ball and socket joints, you can use hinge pieces instead. So start with a 2x3 plate facing down. I'm going to use light gray. Build on top of that, 1x2, 1x2 with a ball joint that way, 1x2 with a ball joint that way, then 1x2 with a ball joint facing that way, 1x2 with a ball joint that way. On top of that, 1x2 plate with a handle, and a 1x2 ball joint going that way. So there's lots of 5 different ball joint connections for where the legs and lower arms will go. Then we're going to connect all of this with a 1x1 plate with clip to the upper part of the torso. So take 2x3 plates, connect those, 1x2 plate in dark gray, connect all of that. The bottom part is a little flimsy, but does hold up pretty well. 2x3 plates, 2 of them, another 1x2 plate, connect that. For the very top, take some 2x3 plates, some of these ball joints, like that, and a 2x3 plate, and top it off. Now what's nice about this torso is you can tilt it back and twist it side to side. So Mangle's torso in a lot of instances is not straight up and down, so you can twist it around. Mangle's legs are all going to have the same basic structure. I'm going to start with a 1x2 socket joint. Then we're going to connect the next part with 2 1x2 plates that are connected. So this case I'm using a clip and a bar connection. You can also do a click hinge connection depending on which hinges you have. These are going to be really similar types of connections and similar types of stability. So whichever you have, take that socket and connect it to the dark gray part, like so. Then on the bottom part, we're going to take another socket and connect it to the other side. And then those are going to connect to 1x2 ball joints. And then for the feet, 2 of the feet should have endoskeleton look. So I'm going to take these 1x2 click hinge plates, make 2 legs like that, like so. And the last leg is going to have kind of the white foot on it. Take a 2x3 plate, some 1x2 curvy downward slopes, and maybe some pink circles for the ends of the toes. To connect the legs to the torso, Going to use this one over here on the side for the white leg. This one over here for one of the endoskeleton legs. Be careful on the pressure you put on that bottom part of the torso. It does tend to fall apart with too much pressure. And then use this connection point for the other leg. Then we can bend them all out. So this is a pretty stable base once you've got it in place, the 3 different legs. I got 3 legs, I got 3 legs, look at me, I got 3 legs. One of them has a white foot, 2 of them have gray feet. 3 legs. Now let's give Mangle some arms. So this piece is a really great piece for the arms. So it's got a ball and a socket. Put the socket way going over there, and then connect it to another socket piece. And then take a 1x2 plate with handle on the end. So build 2 of those, 1, 2, and then fill them in with white minifig hands for the fingers. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and this one will have the thumb going that way, and then 1, 2, 3, and thumb going that way. And you got 2 arms. And then there's the kind of weird, it's not really an arm, but just endoskeleton piece that's hanging off. So I just connected these 3 ball joint pieces all together. I connect this arm over here. Connect this arm up here. Connect the weird little, not quite an arm, in the back here. And you can position them however you kind of want them. What's really nice about these ball joints is you've got lots of flexibility. You can move the hands around separate of the arms. You can tilt the fingers in and out. The thumbs are fragile, so you have to be careful with the thumbs, but got a lot of ways you can pose Mangle. I got 2 arms, I got 2 arms, I got 2 arms and 3 legs and this weird thing in the back that broke. Now let's build the endoskeleton head and necks. Okay, so for the endoskeleton head, I'm going to start with a 2x2 round plate in light gray, some white rounds for the teeth, 1x2 plate, another 2x2 round. Then for the eye sockets, some of these Erling bricks facing like that. For the eye, I like when you take 2 1x1 rounds with holes in it, stick them through there. I just like that hole sticking through for the eye socket. Up to you if you want to put anything else in the other eye socket, like a 1x1 dark gray or something. I like it just blank. 1x2 plate on the back. Then behind that, 1x2 socket joint. And one of these combined ball and socket joints. It's for the endoskeleton head there. For the neck, for the main head, start with one of those combined ball and socket joints. Connect that to a socket. Then add a jumper plate. Then for the bow tie, take a 1x1 plate with clip. Then take a T connector and 2 red cones. Stick those on the T. And now you have a bow tie that you can spin around on the neck. Now we're going to start on Mangle's head. First we're going to build the core using a 1x1 brick with stud on one side, a Technic brick, connect that like so, and a Travis brick on the top. So different studs and holes sticking in different directions here. So we'll have lots of connection points. For the sides of the head, start with 1x3 plate Connect an Erling brick, some cheese slopes on either side. On the top, put a 1x1 plate with clip and a red 1x1 round for the cheek. Build 2 of those, and then those will hang off of each side, like so. For the back of the head, take a 1x2 plate and a 1x2 tile, a 1x4 plate, 2 1x1 plates, and a jumper plate. For the top, 1x3 and a jumper, connected by a 1x2 tile, and then with some 1x1 tiles to clean it up. Do this piece at the bottom, this piece in the back, and then this piece right above that. For the snout, start with a 1x2 plate with a handle, add a jumper plate. On the bottom then we're going to take one of these curvy undertile pieces, take some black plates with clips, do a red 1x2, and then add some teeth in white. Connect that all onto there. Then we're going to take a Travis brick. One side we're going to take one of these 1x2 plates with 3 teeth. Going forward, going to connect a pink 1x1 brick with stud on one side. The very front, do a red little bit for the lipstick, black piece for little snout. Take some 1x2 plates in pink with 1x1 tiles. Do one on this side and one on the other side, and 1x1 pink tile at the top. Then we're going to connect the jumper plate to the back of the Travis brick, bring the jaw up, and connect it all on the front. So this will go right into the center there. Alright, let's finish off Mangle's head. For the eyes, I really like this dark magenta jumper plate for kind of the stuff right around the eyes. Do a 1x1 round with a hole in it for the eye that Mangle has, and a black 1x1 just regular round for the other missing eye. I'm going to stick that into the back of that Travis brick right there, above where the snout goes. Then for the top of the head, take a corner plate and a 1x1 plate, connect them with a double cheese slope. Do some 1x1 plates with clip on the top, behind that, and a 1x2 tile to top it off. Then the ears are going to be a 1x2 plate with handle, pink 1x1 of some kind, and a curvy downward slope. Clip that together, one ear and the other ear. And that all connects on to the top here. And you've got Mangle's head. Looks pretty lovely. Alright, time to put the finishing touches on, connect it all together. So take our endoskeleton head and neck and connect it to the back ball joint. Then you can position the head off wherever you want. Again, lots of flexibility with these joints. To be a little bit careful, this is all just a little bit flimsy. Connect the neck piece over onto the where an arm would normally go on most things, but not on Mangle. Mangle just gets an extra neck. Position the bow tie as you like it. And then that jumper plate is going to go into the bottom of Mangle's head. Whoop. Now you're going to reposition everything to deal with the fact that Mangle's head is pretty heavy and is going to pull everything over. So I like to also tilt the torso back and twist it a little bit, and then tilt the headpiece forward. There's a lot of flexibility in how you want to pose Mangle. Mangle, mangle, mangle. Mangle. So for Phantom Mangle, rather than using those ball and socket joints, I'm using a lot of clip and bar joints. I thought that would be a great way to show another way you could build Mangle if you don't have all of those ball and socket joints. So let's start with a 2x3 plate. Make it face down to a 1x2 plate. I'm going to use one ball joint back here. Then I'm going to use one of these 1x2 plates with handle on each end. Great piece. Up front now I'm going to use one of these Rhino handles, 1x2 plate. Let's fill in each side here with some 1x1 plates in dark gray. Then two of these handle plates, one off to the side and one going back over the center here. And if you remember from last time, this is where we're going to make a connection point. So 1x1 plate with clip. Then we're going to build up the skeleton. Two 2x3s, a 1x2, connect that. Two 2x3s, a 1x2. And at the top, a 2x3. Going to take a 1x2 plate with handle centered in it. Sorry, with clip centered in it. 1x2 with clip on the end. 1x2 with clip centered, and a 2x3 plate. Connect all those pieces, and now you've got a torso for Phantom Mangle with lots of connection points. For Phantom Mangle's legs, I built them in a few different ways. So one of the legs, I'm going to start with the feet here, 1x2 plate with click hinges, two of those connected by a jumper plate. Then for the bottom part of the leg, 1x1 plate with clip and a 1x2 plate with handle. Then for the knee joint, taking a 1x2 plate with clip, 1x2 plate with handle, and making some of them so their studs go in opposite directions. So we'll connect that on top. Then going to connect onto the bottom here, 1x1 plate with clip, a 1x1 tile. So it hinges in like that. Over here, I'm going to start with the same kind of beginning for the foot, two 1x2 plates with click hinges. But this is going to be our ball and socket leg. So we're going to take a socket joint and a ball joint piece. And then going to connect two 1x2 plates with clip and handle, and put that on top, and then collect a socket joint. Then the last piece is going to be the one where it has a foot that's kind of built out more, so a 2x3 plate, some 1x1 rounds for the toes. Then we're going to connect a 1x2 plate and a jumper plate. Put that on the back of the foot. And a 1x1 plate with clip, 1x2 plate with handle. Then we're going to take one of these hinge plates, connect it onto the back there, and connect this all with a 1x1 plate with clip, which we'll twist around. Connecting these all to the torso, the ball and socket leg goes on the back, on the ball and socket joint. Then this leg goes over here on the off of the Rhino plate, bends over to the side, and you can adjust the angle to what makes sense. And then this plate, this leg connects out of this clip on the front, and you can twist around to make sure that all the feet kind of are stable and where you want them. Now let's build Phantom Mangle's arms. So for this one over here, I'm going to take two 1x2 plates with three handles. Connect that to a 1x2 plate with a clip. On the other side of that, put a 1x1 plate with a clip. And we're going to connect some hands here. Put one there for the thumb, and the other three on the top, pointing over. So one little arm. This is the weird arm, just connecting three hinge pieces. So a bar, a clip, and another clip, and just kind of doing them randomly together. This is just a weird piece hanging off the back. For the other arm, starting with one of these 1x2 plates with two handles, then a 1x1 plate with clip. Connect that to a 1x2 plate with three handles. Clip on three hands, and the fourth for the thumb. Da-da-da-da! Now to connect the arms, this one down here, go off of this handle over there. Can wave up and down, and the hand can go in and out, so still lots of movement possible there. This one is going to clip over to this shoulder, and the hand can go kind of in and out. Is that right? It's a little weird arm, but that's okay. And then this thing can just clip into the back, and you can do whatever you want with that to just be weird and sticking out the back. Now let's do the endoskeleton and necks. So for one of the necks, I'm going to take one of these 1x2 plates with two handles and just leave it alone for a while. Start with a 2x2 round plate. Put some dark gray circles on there for some weird teeth. Then I'm using a 1x2 plate with two clips. Don't actually need both of those clips, but I just like that piece. Then a round plate on top of that. For the eyes, can connect some Erling bricks forward or backwards. I actually prefer them the forward way a little bit, like so, but you could also flip them around and have that white thing be in the back. Up to you. Then we're going to connect this here and put this thing aside. For the other neck, I'm going to take another one of those 1x2 plates with two handles. Take a plate with a clip, 1x1 round plate, 1x1 plate with clip. For the bow tie, do a T connector and two dark gray cones, and put it all together like so. For Phantom Mangle's head, we're going to build the core first. Colors don't matter, but 1x1 brick with stud on one side, 1x1 Technic brick, and of course a Travis brick. Going to build the core like that. For the sides of the face, start with a 1x3 plate, Erling brick, dark gray circle for a faded cheek, 1x1 plate with clip, and then some cheese slopes. Make two of them and put them on the side. For the back of the head, start with a 1x2 plate. Cover that in tile, whether that's a 1x2 or two 1x1s, and let your piece go flying. Then a 1x4 plate, some tiles on the sides, and a jumper plate in the middle. Voila. And for the top, 1x3 and a jumper plate connected by a 1x2 tile, and then some 1x1 tiles on the sides. So then we're going to do that 1x2, the 1x4 thing, and this top little doohickey. Oop, gotta center it. Centered like so. For the snout, start with a 1x2 plate with handle. Put a jumper plate on top of that. Connect that to a 1x2 plate with clips. 2x2 round under tile thingy. 1x2 plate. And some dark gray 1x1 rounds. Then we're going to build up using a Travis brick. One of these 1x2 plate with 3 dark gray teeth. I got this one from one of the Ghostbusters packs from LEGO Dimensions. An Erling brick. On each side, a 1x2 plate. On the top, a 1x1 tile. And here, just make a little nose, the black thing. Connect this to that, and connect all of that to this. Finish off the head, take a jumper plate and 2 white rounds. Don't need holes in them, I think it looks fine just with the full thing. Might need to disconnect the snout to get that in place. Then put the snout back. Then a corner plate and a 1x1 plate connected by a double wide cheese slope. Then one of these 1x2 with handles on both sides. Fill in the top with tile. I'm using some 1x1s here. For the ears, take a 1x2 plate with clip, dark gray filler piece, and a 1x2 curvy downward slope in black. 2 ears, and connect it all onto the top. Okay, now it's time to put it all together. You can take the endoskeleton head, bend down the neck, connect it to the clip in the back. Clip. Head goes forward. On the side here, we'll take this neck piece, connect the head, and clip it in. Clip. Now this one is a little, doesn't have quite as much posability as other Mangle because the way I did the clip joints instead of the ball and socket joints. But you can move the legs around to kind of reposition it. I don't recommend tilting the torso back too much, as that makes it hard for other things to stay in place. Mangle, 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 mangle. There goes the head. If you want to convert Mangle into Nightmare Mangle, let's start by disconnecting this foot down here. Lay down for a second, Mangle. So take off all the white bits, and then take some gray 1x2 plates with click hinges. Reconnect that. So now you've got a foot without the white bits on top of it, so that makes it nightmare-y. Connect that. Then let's take off the white pieces on this hand up here. So that and that. That kind of turns into the other arm thing. Let's switch the position of the eyes on both the endoskeleton head and Mangle's head. Eye switching. Switch the eyes. There's also a little detail work you can do to the snout. So let's pull off these pink side pieces and this pink front piece. Place this with a light gray 1x1 brick with stud on one side. Keep the pink, keep the red and the black studs up there. All right. Put a dark gray 1x1 tile here. Take some gray 1x2 plates. Sorry, did I call that dark gray? Light gray. And take these pink 1x1 tiles off of the pink 1x2 plates. Stick them on the side there. Place the teeth at the bottom. So Nightmare Mangle definitely has a lot of gray showing through on the snout. So we'll replace the snout. Could also pull off this 1x2 tile on the top here. And maybe stick some of these gray 1x1 plates with clips coming out, again to look like weird wires sticking out of the top. You could also clip some hands onto the ears to be wires sticking out in different directions. So now with all of those changes, you've got a version of Mangle that's a little more nightmarish. Nightmare Mangle. Night Manglemare. The merriest mangle of nighty night. Nightmare Mangle. And here's a look at all of my action figure scale animatronics together.
Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments telling me what you want to see me build in the future.
Don't forget to check out all my other video game character how to build videos. Here are the pieces to build Mangle's head. So we're going to start with a Travis brick, of course. And I have no idea what I'm doing next. Hello. Hello, I'm Mango. Hello, I'm Mango. Hi. Mangle.